It's time for Tiger Talk with head coach Jeff Tannehill and Stewart Shelby live on the Neville Tiger Network. Tiger Talk's presented by Parker Alexander Law, Family Solutions, Go Family Health, Sonic on North 18th, Tenori's on Louisville, Martinez Chiropractic, James Machine Works, Mama DeLuca's Pizza, Origin Bank, David's Mobile Detail, Nuke's Eatery, 3B Equipment Rental, Neela Title Company, The Levy Grill, Liz McQueen, John Ray Realty, and Jeffrey Angelo. Now, let's head to Melvyn's Restaurant as we catch up with head coach Jeff Tannehill and Stewart Shelby.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Tiger Talk here live from Melvyn's Restaurant here on Oliver Road in Monroe. Stewart Shelby alongside Neville head football coach Jeff Tannehill. And, Coach, congratulations on another district championship and a very successful regular season. It's playoff time here at Tiger Talk. You know, Playoffs.
No, last week was a great game. Our guys came out and played. They were fired up, and we really came out in the first quarter and I mean, just locked in and played well the whole game. And, I mean, I can't say enough about our defense. I mean, we had to knock on some wood, but we hadn't given up a touchdown in a long time. And
it's been in 5 games.
Yeah, well, and I hope we continue that through 5 more games. So, but we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But, you know, Huntington had a really good football team. You know, offensively, their quarterback was, you know, he's very talented.
Yeah,
and
the Evans kid.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, you can't tell on film how big somebody is until you see number 10 in person.
Yeah.
Whew.
Those guys, I mean, they really stood out. The receivers, 2 big receivers, 2 big targets for Cameron, and he's a big young man himself and can move around a little bit. And I really thought getting after him early that your defense just really stepped up, maybe played your most complete game of the season.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. They, you know, our secondary guys covered well all night, and then we put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And, you know, and we brought it from every direction known to man. And, you know, it just I was so proud of them, and just can't say enough about their effort. All those guys on defense are playing at maximum potential right now, and hopefully we'll get them all together. You know, offensively we're rolling pretty good too, so hopefully we'll continue to get a little better as the playoffs progress. But I like where we're at going into the playoffs for sure.
Well, definitely another shutout, 37-0 over Huntington, who came into the contest 8-1. And was 3rd in the power ratings over there. So,
well, you know, it was a big matchup. You know, 2 and 3 playing each other is always a big matchup. And we had a great crowd there for a Thursday night. And you know, to win another district championship, and you know, Coach Gregory's our historian. It's like 14 in a row, which is awesome. Want to continue doing that, and those seniors were really ready to play. And I just thought, you know, that was one of our best games of the year as far as both sides, football, kicking game, everything. And just proud of them, you know, to finish that Week 10 on a Thursday night, which is a little different than we're used to. But, you know, finished it up strong and heading into the playoff. Yeah,
you mentioned Coach Gregory. I would like to wish his dad, Mr. Jim,
our ticket man.
Get well soon, man. He's been – battling a few things, but he's doing better and doing great. Good news today. That's right. So we've been praying for him throughout the last few weeks, and the ticket ladies that are in there are doing a great job in your stead. So don't worry about it. Everything's going swimmingly up there. But definitely wanted to reach out and say that we're thinking about it.
Speaking of tickets, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah,
3 to 6 tomorrow. Be your last day tomorrow to get them. Until maybe Friday morning after the pep rally. So, but Miss Joy Carlson will be up there along with some other ladies tomorrow, and we'll get one more good day. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, let's go ahead and get them.
All right. So definitely get your tickets. Friday's your first playoff game versus the Minden Crimson Tide. We'll talk about that in the 4th segment here this evening. But before we get to that, something that we had some technical difficulties, couldn't get this out for the Players of the Week. This is from the Bastrop Week, and you can see there Tommaso Polverari. And Lorenzel Dubose, were our players of the week from Bastrop right there. Had some big-time stuff. Paul Ferrari had a 38-yard field goal and had a few touchbacks. And Dubose just maybe finally had people start throwing at him, and he defended all of them, a lot of deflections.
He's done a great job.
Heck of a game.
Tommaso has just been a surprise for us. He didn't really know the sport of football.
Yes, American football.
But he's done an outstanding job, and he's had numerous touchbacks, and then he kicks the 38-yard field goal, which was just awesome. I thought. He was so excited, and I think our
kind of erupted. They were ready for it.
So,
great
job.
And talk about your scout team players of the week. Do we have those, Will? Yeah, right there.
Robert Tappan and my man Whitlock.
Yeah.
His Demetric Whitlock. He comes out, he's not eligible to play, but he comes out and works with us every day.
Yeah.
And, somebody's going to pick him up college-wise.
Should be.
And he's working with us and staying in shape. And as soon as, the season's over with, we'll send his practice film out against, guys like Dubose and Elam and Zay Strouder and Jaden. Jalen Blackston and Griffin, he'll have film against all those guys, and so hopefully he'll latch on somewhere.
Well, he's definitely a talented young man. Unfortunate situation there, but let's get back 37-0 over Huntington, and let's get to some highlights. Will, we got those. This first one. On the first drive, the defense set the tone for you right here, and this was the 3rd and 2 stop.
That was a big stop right there. Got us going. We deferred and held them right there in 3 and out. Came right out, and I'm sure the next play is going to be the –
Well, this was we've seen some crazy things to start off games. AJ's had a couple of runs. Now, I hadn't seen what happened. Was it Ruston when it was a 60-yarder and a 90?
No, it's St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas More. There were a 60 and a 99-yard deal, 63, 62, and a 99. But this one, unfortunately, after the punt, ball's placed on the 42, and there's AJ.
Yeah, and it makes one guy miss there, and there he goes.
Just
like he shot out of a cannon right there. So, it's a great –
blocked.
What we're not talking about there is 17, Michael Plummer.
Yeah.
Who was – we'll talk about him here in just a minute. But he had his game back, had an outstanding game. And he was blocking his tail off all night. And then he got rewarded a little later with a touchdown. I'm sure we'll see that. But he played a great game. And our offensive line played a great game the other night. But he just – being his first game back, he really, really played well.
Definitely. Let's go back to defense again. Huntington gets the ball back. It's 3rd down. Fobbs White's back in the fray.
He is. Fobbs White. And who is that else? That's Kendall January. No, it's D'Angelo Woods.
That's D'Angelo Woods.
Both of them. Our front got after their quarterback the other night and played really good against their offensive line.
So right there, they punt again. You get it on the 42-yard line again. Then let's see what happens next.
Yeah. Good speed sweep motion there. AJ has about 5 yards, and he just got great vision and popped it outside. And Aaron Jackson throws him a good block and gets him on in the end zone. And, that's just great blocking and great vision right there out of AJ. And, Brett did a nice job handing the ball off there.
He did.
He made a great read.
Yeah, exactly. And give it to AJ. This time going to the left side, and it doesn't matter which side sometimes when AJ takes it. And it's just for two. Those are back-to-back plays. Those are the first 2 offensive plays of the football game for Neville, for you guys. And
kind of pulled a little air out of the sails a little bit. But, our offensive line, and AJ's talked about them on our show before. They've done a tremendous job. Coach Johnson, who we'll have on here in a little bit, has just done an outstanding job with those guys. And it's his 2nd year with them, and they're starting to really gel right now.
Definitely. So let's go back to defense. Here's Huntington's first play after that second score, and they're going to try the reverse, and you guys sniffed it out perfectly.
Yep. Griffin McGee does his job. He doesn't take off. He stays at home, waits on the cutback or the reverse, and there it showed up, and he did a good job. And then the inside guys came in and swept him up and made a good play on him.
And I think this is about the time where this punt – was it – where we we hadn't talked about it. We don't have. I know we don't have this. This is not a highlight from last week, but it was the delay from the punt. It was 9 seconds to go. Yeah, in the first quarter. I can remember that nice because we kept saying we're just going to hold it right here to get to the end of the third quarter, and 20 minutes later, we're still sitting on the air.
Yeah.
And Robert and I were having some fun with that. But you got it all resolved. You didn't give up any scores. But before I think that happened, this was the third score. This made it 21-0 as Batterford keeps it.
Look, they really did a good job of defense there. Their linebacker jumped the tight end, and usually he's rushing there in the end. And, Brett just makes a good decision, tucks it and runs it, beats them to the corner of the end zone. But, they really, right there, they had us defended perfectly on that play. So just a good decision by Brett to tuck it and run it.
The next offensive possession, A.J. Allen once again gets in there, goes over 100 yards, well over 100 for the ball game. But he capped things off with a 63-yard touchdown here, and I think this was about the end of his night after this.
The same play we ran on the first play of the game, and just I don't know, he just does
once
a great
he gets
job.
an open space, he's just a hard man to get down.
When I'm watching this, I keep wanting to tell him to rewind it so I can show you the block on Plummer. But, Plummer, another good block right there, or either him or Tristan, either one, because they sealed the last guy that could get to him right there. And, those tight ends of ours have really done a great job this year. Derek Harris, Tristan Osborne, and now we got Michael Plummer back. And then Will Jones comes in and plays quite a bit. So they've all done a great job, and they're both Tristan will be back this week. He didn't play, so it wasn't Tristan. It had to be Michael. So so Tristan didn't play last week, but we'll have him back this week ready to go. He's had a good week of practice.
And Briard and Abnett gets in on it. Tommaso kicked one last week. Briard here with a 33-yard field goal to make it 31, I believe, or 30 because, we had the failed extra point there.
Yeah. So he makes it 27-0, or it makes it 30-0.
30-0.
And, Briard's really improved on his field goals, and we got a little better time in here lately, so hopefully he'll continue doing that through the playoffs. We're going to need some kicks in the playoffs. It always happens.
Definitely. And, Henry Cagle, we started to call his name a little bit more further we've gotten into this season, but he gets his first interception, I believe, as a Neville Tiger.
Yeah. Just being at the right place at the right time. Tipped off his hand, takes it down there. We end up getting a penalty, but, he makes a good return, and, he's pretty fired up right there getting his first interception in the secondary.
Yeah, it brought it back a little bit. Yeah, I think he had a block in the back on one of the defensive guys. And once those defensive guys get turned around and going, it's like, let's go. Somebody's going to get hit.
Somebody's getting blocked.
That's right.
Front side, it doesn't matter. Well, we try to work on that, and, somebody seems to always slip up on that.
They got it. It was a nice return, and then you're going to cap off your scoring. But it gave you an opportunity to get Plummer involved in your offense outside of blocking. And here he is with a nice little 7-yard touchdown.
Yeah, we had a little breakdown in pass protection, but the pass was going in that direction regardless. That's where we drew it up to pull him all the way across the field, and whoever the tight end was going to be at that play, it just happened to be Plummer there, and he drug all the way across. And then we took the backside guys and ran them across the other way to pull the corner, so he ended up being wide open, which we drew it up like that, but we had a little breakdown, and Brett did a good job of getting away from the defenders and keeping his eyes downfield and dropping it off to Michael.
Well, complete win. You got to play a lot of players against a really good football team. That was the thing. A lot of talent, a lot of talented guys out there. I think defense held them to, around 140, 150 total yards. Threw the ball a lot.
Yeah, and threw it quite a bit.
And then as you went through there, but 0 points on the board. I mean, they were dropping 50 and 60 on everybody they played until they showed up on Forsyth Avenue.
Yeah, they'd been on a roll. They had won 7 or 8 in a row, and came into Neville. And I'm sure they were excited to play. It's the first time they've been in Neville in a while, so 2 or 3 years, and I'm just glad our kids responded and just came out and took it to them early and took care of business in the first half.
Exactly. That was just.
You don't want to let a team like that hang around by any
That's
means.
correct. That's correct. They had lost to Bird first game of the year and rattled off 8 straight. But the Tigers took care of business there to finish out the regular season and get the, I guess, what is it, 2-4A? What is it still?
2-4A.
2-4A? Yeah,
2-4.
It was kind of the 1/2.
Well, there's 10 of us, but we're 2-4A, B, whatever that, I don't know.
What district champs, nonetheless. Whatever district we're in, the Tigers are the champs. So, look, we've got a lot more coming up for you here on Tiger Talk. We're going to trade out Coach for some of his players as offensive lineman Logan Smith and linebacker Tre'jon Hannon are going to join us here on stage here at Melvin's Restaurant. So we're going to get to talk to them. Chad Johnson, the offensive line coach, is going to join us in segment 3, and then we'll get into Minden again as the Tigers are set to take on the Minden Crimson Tide in the first round of the 2021 4A playoffs this Friday night at Bill Ruppel Stadium. So we'll have that, maybe go through the bracket a little bit. So a lot of stuff here for you this evening on Tiger Talk. We're glad that everybody has come out to check things out here at Melvin's. It looks like they're all having a good time. The seniors were here. The senior dinner was here.
Senior dinner tonight at Melvin's. What a heck of a way to start the playoffs.
That's right.
Dinner at Melvin's on Wednesday night.
That's right. Okay, we'll be right back after these messages, so stay tuned for more Tiger Talk live from Melvin's Restaurant right here in Monroe, Louisiana.
Being a strong team means accomplishing great things by working together. Being a Neville Tiger means striving for excellence in all things. Origin Bank and Neville High School share a long history of making a difference in our community. Together with the Food Bank of Northeast Louisiana, we're able to provide meals to children, families, and seniors facing hunger in Northeast Louisiana. Origin Bank and Neville Tiger football, always a winning combination. Origin Bank, member FDIC.
You told me one click.
You told me one call.
You told me you'll get it done,
I called.
but never got you.
Instead, I was handed off to someone else.
In fact, I never even met you.
Are you even for real?
Don't be misled. If you've been injured, you deserve to meet with the actual attorney you saw on TV.
At Parker Alexander, you'll meet with me.
Or me.
We'll fight to get the money you deserve.
Remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you. And that's for real.
Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
Whether you're dining in or grabbing to go, at Nuke's, we love to share great food, to delight with new flavors, to celebrate every bite. Join us at Nuke's Eatery.
I'm Dr. Scott Shelby with Family Solutions. When you hear the words Family Solutions, you may not know that we're a comprehensive, strength-based counseling and psychiatric clinic. Family Solutions provides psychiatric care, individual and couples therapy, child and adolescent counseling, psychological testing, medication management. We also provide occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and ABA therapy in one convenient location. For more information on how we can help your family today, visit FamilySolutionsCounseling.org.
Do you suffer from frequent back or neck pain? Were you in an accident and can't get rid of those constant aches? Maybe you're someone who deals with chronic migraines and tension headaches. It might be time to see how Martinez Chiropractic can help you. The goal of Martinez Chiropractic is to reduce or eliminate pain in just a few sessions using the latest in chiropractic technology. Don't suffer in pain another day. Call Martinez Chiropractic today at 318-654-4310 or see them in person, 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe.
Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk here from Melvyn's Restaurant in Monroe. We're here every Wednesday night during football season. Show starts at 6:30, so get here early, get yourself something to eat, and see the ladies, Annie and the gang, and Melvyn and Diane, just do a great job of hosting us every Wednesday night throughout football season. And you can see I traded out Coach Tannehill for a couple of his players. You see to my far right, that's linebacker Tre'jon Hannon and offensive guard Logan Smith. Guys, welcome to Tiger Talk.
Hey, how you doing?
So, congratulations. You were named the Origin Bank Players of the Week. And you've just got wrapped up another district championship. Tre'jon, big game last week, and I've been calling your name a lot on the network. You see number 8. That's my favorite number. That was my baseball number.
Yes, sir.
So, but let's talk about some of your success throughout the season, man. You've been really doing a great job.
Yes, sir. I just put in a lot of hard work. It's finally starting to pay off. Yeah.
Finally starting to pay off?
Yes, sir.
Well, very impressed with the speed. I mean, you've kind of worked your way into this lineup, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Last year, getting a few deals, and then this year being in that main rotation.
Yes, sir.
Talk about, some of the extra work that you put in, just trying to get stronger, faster.
Yes, sir. Like off-season, working on my speed, agility, the way I move.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, when you get your hands on somebody, move that mic just a little closer to your mouth. I know that. There you go.
Now?
Yeah, it's much better. But, being your ability to tackle in space is one thing that has really come out. You chase down some guys, and if you get near somebody, it doesn't get by you.
Yes, sir.
Well, and Logan, you've been part of that anchor of that offensive line. You guys have been together for a few years now. And with the addition of Zalance on the kind of right tackle, allowing Kane maybe to come back in at guard, I mean, you guys are as solid of a offensive unit as you've had in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, I mean, Will Campbell, he's been a good leader, and he's been playing since freshman year. And me going in there sophomore year, he's made us work. He has had the coaches have had high expectations for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Will as a player, he's a good person. He's brought all that on us. Bringing Hurt coming to our school brought it brought a good hype around.
Yeah.
And moving Kane to left guard, it created an anchor, and it something special for us happened there.
You and Landon and Kane, that interior part, everybody sees those big guys on the edge, but y'all holding down the kind of the center part of the line has really allowed some good things to happen. I mean, AJ's run roughshod. Now Batterford's getting on the act, thinking he's a running back, getting 60-yard runs and stuff. Does that make But no, I mean, opening up some big holes for these running backs.
Yeah, that's Will. Those are drills. He's a good leader. We all have the chemistry around us. We've all been friends for years. I mean, we're smaller. The inner's smaller. I mean, but we fight as hard as we can. We may give up a block now and there, but like AJ is real special. Brett, they have good vision. They're gonna know what's gonna be there. The coaches, Coach Johnson, the O-line coach, everybody that puts in the work. They know the scheme. They all get us prepared. The steps we take precise because we're not the biggest guys. We're gonna put the work in it. The scheme.
All right, Tre'jon, I saw you laughing when I said Brett. Now he's the one guy. You don't get to hit him in practice.
Nah, we don't get to hit him.
You don't get to hit the quarterback. No, you can't hit him. You think at one point, I've asked kind of everybody on the defensive side of the football, being able to go up against guys like Logan and crew. I mean, one of the top offensive lines in the state. Everybody says the theme that iron sharpens iron for some of you guys. I mean, being able to go against Logan and Kane and Will and Lance and Landon, some guys that have been around the block a few times, has to be good for y'all. Y'all have some healthy competitions, don't you?
Yes, sir. It's like Bronx defense, everybody together, so it make us. You feel me?
So who won this week? I know y'all have these competitions.
Defense.
Defense won?
Defense won.
Defense won, yeah. Unfortunately.
Defense won.
Our defense is best in the state, no doubt. They make us better every week. But our cornerbacks, DBs, linebackers, they're solid. They're 100%. They're going to get all they got every week.
Well, you definitely hadn't given up a point since really, what was it? It was before Western. I think Gina, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Gina.
Yeah, I mean, and Western O, the only score they got was a defensive touchdown.
Yes, sir.
The defense has scored a couple of times since then, helped out in that area. So now, have you always been on the defensive side of the ball, playing linebacker over there?
Yes, sir.
So what's your, like, in a dream scenario, like, what would be your ultimate goal, like a defense, like an individual type defensive play, performance, something like that? What would you like to do the most?
Score a touchdown.
You want to score a touchdown?
Yeah, I want to score a touchdown.
Doesn't matter how.
Don't matter
Pick
how.
six, scoop and score,
Yes, sir.
something like that.
I just want to score.
Just want to score. One touchdown. Well,
One.
hey, look, hopefully you got 5 more games left in this season, 5 possible games left in this season, and I hope that definitely comes your way.
I hope you do, too.
So do you have it planned out? Like, what are you going to do when you score?
Yes, sir.
You do? with a lot of these flags coming out,
yeah,
you got to be careful. Do it, bring it back to the sideline.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go. Because but we'll definitely we'll keep recording on the old Neville Tiger Network because we're getting some good ones out of there. And what about you, big man score? I mean, are you waiting for that like golden ticket fumble? Comes right to you?
I'm never going to say that. It's never going to happen. But we're going to be there to blocking. But, I mean, if their ball's going to be on the ground, we're going to – every O-line dream is picking up that fumble and going to score that touchdown.
Get the old guard eligible
in
there. Throw you a pass or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, hey, look, you guys have done such a great job up to this point. So – let's talk playoffs. I mean, Minden, all right? Tre'jon, we faced these guys a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
4th time in 2 years that we played Minden. It was kind of different a little bit the first game, the second game last year. You're not overlooking these guys any. I mean, because I think they get their quarterback back that didn't play in the first deal. I know y'all took care of business, blanked them 30-0. What's kind of are you looking to do against the Crimson Tide this week?
We don't want as many flags as we had last game. Like last time we played Minden, we had way too many flags. We were beating ourselves. So I feel like we play smart, do what we got to do. We make something happen.
Clean up.
Yes, sir.
Clean up the deal. Play. Yeah, you're right. And you did. There was a lot of flags on both sides of the football against Minden. In fact, a couple of touchdowns got called back on the offense. One of them for a celebration. One of them was I think a block in the back that ultimately brought that back. And Henry got a pick last week, and the defense even got in on a block in the back deal. So do y'all practice that on the defense? Like when you like a pick drill? So when you pick on the defense, y'all just turn around and
they'll take our running down. I'll probably just run in front of them. We'll fake like we blocking.
Yeah. Well, it's fun though when you get to flip the script. These guys have been trying to block you the whole time. You're pretty much looking for somebody to hit, aren't you, if you don't have the football?
Yes, sir.
Now, you've caused a couple of fumbles this year.
Yes, sir.
And have you recovered one? I think you recovered one.
Yeah, I recovered one against Minden.
Exactly, against Minden. So maybe down in the bottom of those piles, what all goes on down there when somebody else ball and everybody starts diving for it?
It's just everybody trying to get the ball. We got to hold on to it.
Hold on to it?
Yeah.
Get right in there?
Get right.
Logan, so Minden again. This is the 4th time you played Minden as well.
It feels like we played them more than anybody. I mean, we have.
You have.
We're going to prepare correctly. We can't overlook any team. I know people probably looking at farther in brackets. We're Neville. I mean, Minden, they're still going to be a good football team. Their record may not say it. We played them, skunked them, beat them, but they're going to come back better. They're going to. It's the playoffs. Last year, they came back harder, and we didn't play like we should have last year in the playoffs, and that ended up probably leading doubt in our heads. But we're not going to do that this year. We have that motivation. We're gonna play hard. We got to clean up. We got to. It's a statement game.
You get into playoff mode here. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
There's no room for too much error here, because you lose, have one hiccup or a bad game, and you could be done.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, that can either sharpen that focus.
Exactly.
You know, make that sword sharper, or you could just be watching the rest of the teams try to go after that state championship.
Yeah.
And in y'all's class, that's one of those things that's eluded y'all.
Yeah.
A few semifinal appearances definitely have not disappointed anyone by any means, but I think both of y'all, I would assume, would like to cap off a senior season with a state championship.
Yep, that's our goal. We're gonna get there.
Well, it might be the last time. Talk about. I mean, you got a lot of history with Edna Carr. We're getting in the bracket. We're getting way ahead of things.
Yeah.
But just hypothetically speaking, Neville and Carr have gotten after it many times with the state championship on the line, and with Carr moving up in class next year, how fitting would that be of having a Neville Carr championship in the Superdome?
Knowing that it'll be probably the last one is going to make everybody excited for it and everything. But I remember going back to my sophomore year when I was playing, we played in the semifinals at Neville, and just wanting to get back at them, we haven't had that chance yet. And knowing that they'll be the last one is going to bring some hype around that game if it happens theoretically. But we're going to be. We got our mind focused on the next people we're playing.
That's right. Good answer, Tre'jon. Let's take care of Minden first.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about who you're going to try to beat whoever shows up on Friday, right?
1 week at a time.
One week at a time. I know. Sorry, it's guys like me.
Good.
I've been out of it for a while. I know I hate to look forward, but it is something. I think that would be something. Want you to stay focused and get there.
Yeah.
Get after it. You guys have had a heck of a run this season. A lot of success. Congrats on the district championship. Congrats on all y'all's individual successes as well as team successes throughout this 2021 season. Look forward to watching you guys excel more in the playoffs here starting Friday night.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Hey, Tre'jon, Hannon, Logan Smith right here with us on Tiger Talk. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Neville offensive line coach Chad Johnson join us and talk about his season from his perspective, as well as his perspective on playoff opponent on the Minden Crimson Tide. Coming up right after these messages right here on Tiger Talk. We're live from Melvin's. We'll be right back.
Mama DeLuca's pizzas are custom made, fresh to order right in front of you. We offer 3 different sizes of pizza, 9, 12, or 14 inch. Mama DeLuca's pizza is prepared to your order. The pizza cooks in less than 3 minutes. We have 16 different toppings to choose from, 8 unique sauces to complete your pizza. In addition to pizzas, we offer to our customers boneless wings with your choice of a dipping sauce. Mama DeLuca's Pizza offers delicious garlic Parmesan breadstick, freshly made to order pasta bowls. We're Mama DeLuca's Pizza in the subway on Lammy Lane, and we hope to see you soon.
Baton Rouge, Shreveport, New Orleans.
Attorneys from all over our state are flocking to our area to handle your injury case. I'm Chad Carter.
And I'm Kevin Alexander. We didn't come in from out of town to take your case.
If you've been injured, come see us at Parker Alexander. We live and work right here in Northeast Louisiana.
Remember, we don't get paid unless you get paid. So we're here to handle your case personally.
Let Tenori's on Louisville help you with your special gift needs, offering a wide variety of products to make any Tiger happy. Go visit Tenori's, located at 801 Louisville Avenue, or give them a call at 318-325-4100. That's Tenori's on Louisville. Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
Hey, there we go. We're back here live from Melvin's. As it was good hearing from Logan and Tre'jon about their season, but now we get back to our coaching segment with offensive line coach Chad Johnson. Man, welcome to Tiger Talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to be here. Always a pleasure.
Well, when you're not on a football field, it seems you're on a baseball field or a softball field. That's where I see most of you.
Yeah. It's been softball last year, and then up before that it was baseball for I don't know how many years. Long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, for sure.
But last year coming in, taking over the offensive line coach duties, and then into this year, we've talked a lot about your O-line and what a talented offensive line you've put together. You know, it definitely – sometimes they say talent makes a coach look good.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of guys, or a good group, that definitely make you look good, but I know there's a lot more that goes into that.
Yeah, somebody Rodney told me when I came in, said, you really coach those boys up, you know. And, yeah, I mean, that just talent for sure makes it a lot easier, but it is a lot more. They work hard, you know, every day. Of course, the 2 tackles everybody knows about, and then with you know, Hurd and Will, and then you got Logan and Kane playing guard, and then Landon Sorrell does a real good job at center, and just the communication and them working together, you know, is what we work on a lot every day, and they've done a real good job with it, you know. So.
You know, schematically, you talk about what you guys do with that offensive line, and you know, the old Neville traditionalists, they keep looking at this. You know, it's kind of been different for a long time, but if you read what you guys are trying to do, creating some cutback lanes for when you have guys like AJ in the backfield, makes y'all look even better. But the more I've gotten into it as an old school Neville guy, I understand it a whole lot better. Like, talk about maybe the differences from all these guys, you know, the old wing T blocking scheme to now.
Yeah, well, you know, two types of blocking that we really talk about is gap scheme and then zone scheme. And your gap schemes like your counters and power, and which is great stuff. We still run it, but we're more of a zone team now because of our O-line and because of AJ, of course.
Yeah.
So when he gets the ball, he could go into 7 or 8 different holes. You know, whatever he sees there, where in a gap scheme you're trying to almost force it into a hole, which, again, is good with the linemen that we have. But it kind of just showcases AJ's talent, you know, along with our O-line of being able to see that cutback or see it. You know, he could bounce on any side of the ball and go with it, and I think it fits who we are, you know, a good bit. So we've had a lot of success this year doing that.
Well, you definitely have. It's racking up a lot of rushing yards, and I think over a couple thousand on the year total. And you think about that with playing more than half your games with maybe just, you know, playing about half the game with your starters out there.
Yeah,
it's been a very impressive run. So talk about what you guys do to prepare. I mean, Tigers defense, you know, that's been the thing, trying to get more competitive on the practice field. And I see you guys going at it pretty much line on line, you know, just without, I guess, your skills out there, just a running back and a defensive line and maybe some linebackers. Talk about some of the things that y'all have done to maybe improve or kind of hone those skills for your offensive linemen.
Yeah, we you know, we try to go one-on-ones with the D-line a couple times a week, you know, during individual segments. You know, we'll come up with them and you know, work on combo blocks in our zone scheme, or, you know, whether it's outside runs or against our ones, because we're pretty good up front. So going against 2s and 3s, you get to work your steps and where you're supposed to fit. But as far as just the competition, the only way you get better is to go against the good ones. So our defense benefits from it. We benefit from it. Then we do our inside run a lot of times against the ones. Again, they're working on. We'll throw in what they might see that week, and we'll do the same. So it helps us out. You know, iron sharpens iron, and so it does a lot of good for us.
You hear that from your players a lot. I've heard that since I think week 2 when we started bringing everybody in on Tiger Talk. And it seems that based on that, when you got different players every week and different players tell me the same thing, that's one of the themes that you guys wanted to really instill in these young men starting very early, and they seem to be buying in.
Yeah, they definitely have, and they'll complain a little bit every now and then. They get tired of banging on each other, I think, but overall they realize how important it is to be physical with each other and work against each other every chance we get. And they might, you might not be real sure that's something they want to do at the time, but they know how much it helps. So.
Well, you're fortunate. We talked about the defense going against one of the best offensive lines in the state, and it's the same. You can flip the script for some of those guys like Sledge and Fobbs White, and even Woods has come a long way. Tre'jon was talking about that, and some of the best linebackers you have as well, and Hinton and a couple of those guys. So going against them's got to help you. I mean, you got some fast defensive ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we really feel like every week in practice we go against the best there is, and I think all 5 linemen would tell you that they know it. We're not going to see anybody any better than what our D lineman is. We're going to see some good ones for sure, but we can work against them and have success and figure it out against our D line and our linebackers. Then we feel like we've seen about the best there is going forward. So,
well, you've done a great job, a lot of success thus far in coaching the line and everything else. Now, talk about where else you coach at Neville. I know we all know about your football, but a lot of people don't know what else you coach.
Well, I coached baseball up until last year and did freshman baseball, and moved last year to softball. And I coached with Dozier and Ashton Birch and Cody Chase. And another guy I want to mention is Brad Cochran, who's came in and helped me a lot this year. With the O-line, he's going to help with softball this year. And Drew Roughton as well, helps. So there's 3 of us out there. At any time. But, last year was my first year softball, and went down to Sulphur and had a good time, enjoyed it. So if they'll have me around, I'll be back next year. Yeah.
Well, it definitely had a lot of success on that in the spring with that as well. And I know you've got, like we said, your hands full with your boys and daughter playing all over the place in between there. And your wife does a great job taking pictures of everything.
Yeah.
She's documenting every second of it.
She's pretty good with it. And that might have been where I coached my daughter's 12U softball team as well.
I got it.
I have to look at
stop coaching.
I had to look at our football schedule to schedule our tournaments for her, because wanted to do it on weekends where we had a little bit of a break. So it's tough to balance, but I guess we wouldn't have it any other way.
They're only young once, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, look, thanks for the contributions you make to the coaching staff and the Neville High School in general. Enjoyed getting to know you over the past few years, and keep it up. Keep it going in the playoffs.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I love being here and look forward to what the rest of the year is going to bring us.
Hey, well, definitely we do too. So thanks, Coach Chad Johnson, for joining us here at Tiger Talk. When we return, we'll talk about that Minden Crimson Tide, the first round of the playoffs, and we'll go through some brackets and a whole lot more. So stay tuned right here on the Neville Tiger Network. We'll be right back with more Tiger Talk.
Hey Neville Tiger Nation, this season if you find yourself feeling a little under the weather, visit Go Family Health on North 18th Street. They cover flu shots, sports physicals, sick visits, annual visits, or if nothing is wrong, they can do your regular checkup. Go Family Health has a happy staff, clean office, and they can take care of all your family's health care needs.
This is Tiffany Terra with Go Family Health. We love our Neville Tigers, and we want to thank all of Neville Nation for always supporting Go Family Health.
I'm Matt Dickerson, and I'm a satisfied 3B equipment rental customer. So I called Matt because we were trying to get our plots together for dove season. He brought this equipment out to us, dropped it off, unloaded it for us, and really made the whole process very easy. I know Matt does real well in the service department, and through some other rental experiences we've had with him, the tractor that he dropped off for us was in brand new condition. Everything was in good shape. It's good to know that you can count on equipment when he drops it off. I'd highly recommend Matt Bridges and 3B Outdoors for all your equipment rental needs.
Come by Melvin's Restaurant before and after the game for the best burgers and ribeyes in town. Melvin's Restaurant are proud supporters of the Neville Tigers and are home to Tiger Talk with Jeff Tannehill every Wednesday night. Come by Melvin's Restaurant, located on 1128 Oliver Road in Monroe, or call them at 318-325-2055. That's Melvin's Restaurant in Monroe.
All right, welcome back, everybody, into Tiger Talk. We have reached the last segment here in the first round of the playoff edition of Tiger Talk, and we welcome back Neville head football coach Jeff Tannehill. And Coach, you got to be impressed with these young men. We've had them every week. Your players come in here doing a great job on the interviews, and we're working through a lot of your assistant coaches and guys like Chad. And the rest of these guys just make, your job just that much easier.
It does. These guys, a lot of them was on staff when I became the head coach, and they do a great job. And, that's the one thing that we've always had great coaches at Neville High School. And, we're going to try to continue that trend as long as I'm here. But everybody does their job and works extremely hard and cares deeply about Neville High School, and that's the most one of the most important parts of it is. But Chad has been on defense, moved to offense, and he and I have a lot in common. We've both coached at small schools and both coached on both sides of the football, and lean on him a lot in our run game and our O-line calls, and he does a great job with those guys. And he's coached about 4 different kinds of offenses, and so he knows a lot about the defensive part of it, and it just really helps him that much more on offense. But as far as Coach Cochran came on this year late, right as soon as we started. He's done a great job helping Coach Johnson, and it takes 2 to run that show down there. I mean, one's working, and Coach Gregory's down there half the time, and when you're working tight ends with tackles and guards and centers and I coach the quarterbacks. I coach the quarterbacks. There's 4 or 5 of them, but they're not working together at the same exact time most of the time.
So a couple, a few pairs of eyes. The more the merrier. So
more eyes,
definitely. With that, now before we get too far into this, let's see. I think it's your wife's birthday was yesterday. So
it was yesterday, and her mom got us a cake and celebrated a little bit tonight since she actually worked last night, so we didn't get to do anything. So we're eating dinner at Melvin's tonight.
We're doing
what better place? We met at Melvin's, so
that's
the first time I ever met her was here. Well, the old Melvin's, but
the old man. I worked with her at Melvin's.
So Melvin's is kind of a special place in our relationship, and
Well, there you go. Happy birthday, Nicole, from all of us here at the Neville Tiger Network. Let's quickly run through our players of the week. Let's go players. We got players of the week, Will, from last week, and you see him right there. We talked about Plummer.
Plummer had a great week. Glad he's back. He's doing a great job. And then Tre'jon Hannon had one of his better weeks. He's had a lot of good weeks, but this week he kind of put him over the top a little bit, and so got player of the week this week too. So proud of those guys, and the way just the way our defense is playing, and Tre'jon's really improved, and it just makes our defense that much better.
He definitely has, and being able to have an extra body back there to go alongside Hinton, and you lost Lane Blue from last year, and trying to figure out who was going to replace him. You replace him with 2 or 3 good linebackers.
Right, Rudy Dozier, Daylen Robinson,
Tre'jon
Wilson, Jacoby Wilson's done a good job for us. So, those guys are just getting better and better each week. And you hear Coach Saban talking about, going to bowl games. Well, we use the playoffs as our bowl games, And so the more practice these guys get, the more weeks of practice they get, the less and less experience they have to have the next year. So when those younger guys come along, they've had, hopefully 15 weeks of practice, but if they get 14, it's better than 7. So they get, some of the freshmen we brought up. We had those guys on the show a couple weeks ago. We get to use those guys, and they get another full season if you go all the way to the finals. And so they'll get 7 more weeks of practice, whereas they had 7 weeks of their season. So they just get more and more. And plus, they're going against the varsity guys now, and so it gets better and better, and they improve a lot more, and it cuts the teaching part of it down a little more when you get to experience part of it.
Well, it definitely does, and we talk about some of those young guys, Bills and the Browns for this week. Here's your scout team, guys.
On the left there would be Jaden Pridgett, and on the right will be Jaden Owens.
Jaden Owens, yeah.
Owens had a great job. He's going to be a good lineman for us next year. Jaden Pridgett right there will be a good D lineman, and then we also have Jaden Webb, who is the scout player of the week this week, and we have a lot of Jadens and Jaylens.
A lot of Jadens.
And so Jaden Webb did a tremendous job for us too.
Yes.
This past week. So
we've got that, and before we get into Minden, it seems like we play Minden.
Play them 4 times in 2 years.
2 years, I know. Probably, maybe at least the last 3 times, right? Much to the dismay of Coach Hurd over there in Minden, having to come over here. But we've swapped places, 2 over there, 2 here in the last 4 years. But another matchup with them. But let's kind of, before we get too far into that Minden, let's go through, if you don't mind, the brackets in 4A here, as the Tigers garner the number 2 seed. But we'll start up at the top with that top seed right there is Edna Carr. They take on Breaux Bridge. Just
first round
matchup. You're 16-17, Eunice and DeRitter.
It's 2 pretty good teams right there. Eunice was in the Dome in 3A a couple years ago, and DeRitter we played, 2 years ago in the playoffs down there.
We did. That was that wet.
Oh, yeah, it rained a ton.
Rained a ton, and then it stopped. And then Carver, another New Orleans team, takes on another New Orleans team in Landry Walker.
Very familiar with each other. And 9 and 24, you can take the numbers out there. It may not be a rivalry game, but they know each other really well. That'll be a good ball game to watch.
And then Salmon and Plaquemine. Salmon lost the district championship to Lake Shore there at the end, but had a pretty good season. Plaquemine's just one of those teams you don't really know about. I mean,
we saw them last year in the playoffs, and they had a good team. They lost to Clarion Crow right before we did, but I don't know what they had coming back.
And let's move on down. This is the bottom half of the top half of the bracket, if you can catch that. There's Westgate, another team from New Iberia, as they take on John F. Kennedy. That's a team that a lot of people up here don't really know about, but a very talented team.
They are very talented. We've played them 2 years in a row in the quarter. Well, last year was second round. The year before was quarterfinal. So, very talented football team. Their coach does a tremendous job with them, and they've got some athletes.
And Leesville, the Wampus Cats take on Assumption. Leesville will have the home game there, and Leesville, that little Alexandria area over there.
Coach Causey and his staff, they do a great job. We played them last year, week 1, when we had some COVID stuff, and they're a much improved team than they were a year ago. They've won a lot of football games this year.
And then Rain takes on North DeSoto. The Wolves of Rain there against North DeSoto, having to go down there to. I believe that's the frog capital of Louisiana.
I think so. But that's a good matchup, and North DeSoto runs the wing tee. They've got 2 big running backs. Rain will have their hands full with them.
Northwood of Shreveport and Pearl River. Pearl River plays in that North Shore district up there with Lake Shore and Salmon and a few of them. But Northwood had a good season here. That was one of the ones that Northwood Warren Easton that was flip-flop there from 3 and 4.
Nobody knew who was going to be 3 and 4.
Exactly.
But, Northwood won their side of our district against North DeSoto 13-8. So it's a 4 seed and a 20 seed. So there's not a big difference there. So 13-8, Northwood won that side.
And now we move into our side of the bracket,
which I don't really like to look at, but we'll talk about it.
Just anyway, you got Warren Easton sitting there in the 3 seed. They take on Ellender, another team from down south, South Lafourche. And then Opelousas. A lot of people got their first look at Opelousas. They took on Ruston in the Jam. They were a last-minute replacement. Had some good sound bites from their head football coach.
Yes, pretty funny guy.
From right there. The Tarpons of South Lafourche. I mean, who knows what's going to happen. As a couple of schools, or really South Lafourche, didn't play too many of them because of Ida, but managed to garner the 14 seed. Belle Chase, another school from the New Orleans area in that district with Carr and everybody else.
They're always a solid team, They won state back in 05, 06, somewhere in there, but they've always got a solid football team.
Estruma, they're in the Baton Rouge area. They've won some state championships, but it's been a long time ago. And then there's Huntington, who the Tigers faced last Friday night, garnering the 6th seed, and they're going to take on Tioga, who could possibly be one of your district
next year,
possibly right there, as those came out as well. And then let's get to our side here, and a lot of people at Cecilia don't know much about them, but
it's a question mark everybody talks about. I hear they're physical and fast, but until we get to the quarters, I'm not really concerned with them right now.
But as far as they're playing Beauchene, I believe.
I think they're in the same district, or they're real close together.
I think they'd had a quarterback they'd gone down with the injury, maybe is back here for the playoffs. Keep an eye on them if you're following along at home. Lakeshore, we know the Lakeshore Titans play them a few times in the playoffs. They're going to take on another district foe in Franklinton down there. Bel Air, that's one of the surprises in 4A, that we're playing for the district championship down there in Baton Rouge against Lehigh, which is now Liberty, but they take on the Carencro Bears. Carencro going on the road. This is one that a lot of Neville fans are going to be keeping an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carencro's always a well-coached football team, and last year they had a tremendous team and played them there in the semifinals, and it didn't turn our way at all. But they are very well coached. It's a run a split back veer, and defensively is where their strength is. They play ball control on offense, and defensively they play your tails off, and they get a lot out of their kids, and they're a good football team. I don't know anything about Bel Air right now, but we'll be watching that as soon as we try to get done Friday night.
The Tigers,
not going to look ahead of anybody.
We're not looking ahead, but the Tigers had to get through. I wanted to get through the bracket to give everybody an idea of where everybody kind of stands in this first round. Neville takes on Minden, and as we get back into that matchup, Minden gets their quarterback back, I believe, the Cooper kid.
They did.
So it was good
and
to
Six
see
did
him.
a really good job while he filled in for him. They didn't change their offense a whole lot, but he did a really good job. Jacoby Jackson, he's a 10th grader, but he's a really good athlete, well-built kid. But he'll move back to wing back or wide receiver or whatever he was playing. And but they get Cooper back, Andrew Cooper, and
senior.
He's a senior. He's a leader on their team, and he just does a lot of things good. He runs the ball really well, runs the veer a little bit, and runs the wing tee some, out of that shotgun stuff. But he does a really good job. But the one that, to me, is our most improved player is their running back, number 4, Daylen Robinson. He's done a really good job. I didn't realize last year when we played him that he was a sophomore. So, but he's grown a lot, and he's a lot more confident. He runs hard. So, those are, Daylen and Jacoby will be guys we'll have to stop, defensively. And then, also they got a wide receiver, Jaylen Williams, number 19. He's a junior. He's, I don't know, he's 6'5".
He's huge. He's tall.
He's a lot like number 10 from Woodlawn. From Huntington.
Yeah.
And, he's a really good receiver. He knows their offense really well. So, we've got our hands full. They keep enough in the box to be able to cover the guys outside. So, defensively, to me, Mekhi Reed is number 58. He's the guy that kind of makes them go. He's the D lineman. He plays some O-line too. He's a good leader on the team. And then you've got Keelan Combs. And their linebacker.
Is it Ridley?
Yeah, Ridley.
Yeah.
Linebacker. Good player, really good player. So, they're very well coached. Coach Hurd does a really good job of their offense. And then Coach Insbinger, who was coaching in this area years ago, about 20 years ago, and, he's done a great job with those guys. And, they just continue to keep pushing out, good teams every year and in that little community of Minden. So, it's just a one-horse town for that high school. So.
And they definitely – like to follow their tide, and
they do.
They're going to bring hopefully a good crowd over here to Bill Ruppel Stadium and watching these young men take on the Neville Tigers Friday night in the first round of the LHSAA 4A state playoffs, the non-select. Non-select. I'm really getting tired of that. We're not going to go on that tangent here tonight. But Coach, talking to your players and not really trying to bait them, but I mean, everybody seems focused. Guys like me want to look forward in these brackets, and everybody seems to be. That's got to be the mantra you guys are going with, is trying to keep everybody focused on this game at hand. This is the most important game you play. Is the next game you play.
Yeah, well, there's no moving forward. It's just one and done if you don't take care of your business. And our guys have been really good this year, getting their minds prepared for the game and their bodies prepared for the game. Each and every week, no matter who it was, we lined up and played hard, and I thought, played really well at a lot of times. And, this week, I told them, I said, don't even look at the bracket.
Yeah.
It don't matter. The bracket doesn't matter. We got Minden Friday, and when we get done Friday night, we'll
see who we play tomorrow.
Next way we'll go. And we'll do that every week from here on out. And because you never know. Some team you never know. That's why they play them. They don't do them on paper.
That's right. That's right. But so that'll be the last bracket we show on Tiger Talk. All right. Well, Coach, man, good luck tomorrow, Friday night. We'll have a pep rally in the auditorium Friday.
All right.
Friday morning. Kids are out of school for Veterans Day, and definitely wish all the veterans and servicemen and women
appreciate
out there
everything they've done and do for us.
Right. We're definitely thankful for y'all and the sacrifices that you make for our country and for all of us here to do what we do. So, Coach Tannehill, thanks for joining us. Will Anders there. Brett Braddock was helping us there in the back end. We look forward to playing football on Friday night, and you'll have it right here on the Neville Tiger Network. Kickoff's at 7. Pre-game starts at 6:30. You can catch us on the Neville Tiger Network or also on the radio on Sunday 98.3 FM. So, for everybody I just mentioned, I'm Stewart Shelby saying good night from Melvin's. We'll see you Friday night.
Good night.